Reports on COVID-19 and its global implication. The IMF has approved a fourth round of debt relief for 24 poor nations, including new recipients of Lesotho, Kyrgyzstan, to help them weather the COVID-19 pandemic. During pandemic, about 97% of young women in the UK have been sexually harassed, according to UN Women UK survey. The global death toll of COVID-19 topped 5 million less than 2 years into crisis that has not only devastated poor countries but also humbled wealthy ones with first-rate high healthcare systems. The Economic Coordination Committee (ECC) rolls over rupees 352 billion COVID-related economic stimulus package to the current fiscal year to meet various expenditure, including procurement of vaccination. The Federal Bureau of Investigation (FBI) reported a 300% increase in cyber crimes during the ongoing COVID pandemic. Italy's life expectancy dropped 1.2 years over COVID. School closure had badly hit learning process in UNICEF. COVID-19 pandemic far from over, says WHO. World Bank has forecasted that in 2021, 150 million or more people could fall into abject poverty worldwide owing to the COVID-19 pandemic. The third six-monthly report launched by Sustainable Social Development Organization reported that incidents of domestic violence and abuse against women and children increased in the second half of the 2020, mainly owing to the coronavirus lockdown. Owing to the UN-sponsored report, COVID-19 has done little to alter the ranking of the world's happiest countries, like Finland at the top for a fourth year running. COVAX is a partnership between World Health Organization and two international groups, the Gavi Vaccine Alliance and Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations, which aims to send vaccines to developing countries. A year into pandemic, about 1 in 5 US adults are experiencing high level of psychological distress with occasional sleeplessness and anxiety, says the Pew Research Center. In the wake of COVID-19 and Brexit, more than 1 million migrants appear to have left the UK in the first 9 months of 2020, the Financial Times. The WHO recommends that governments spend at least 6% of their GDP on health. China disease expert says COVID-19 origin probe should shift to US Global Times. Extremists using COVID pandemic to polarize societies, Europol. Despite the coronavirus pandemic, the number of people fleeing war and persecution continued rising the last year, with the global displacement climbing to over 82 million people, double the figure a decade ago, the UN said. Amid pandemic, number of people forced to flee homes has risen, says UN. Over 3.25 million COVID-19 vaccine shots administered worldwide. 2020 was a record year for foreign aid, which reached all-time high of 161.2 billion, 3.5% raise in real terms for the year before, as a result of extra spending to help developing countries tackle the COVID-19 crisis. According to the World Bank recent estimates, 734 million people live in extreme poverty on less than $1.90 a day. In the wake of COVID-19 pandemic, an addition of 60 million people will fall into extreme poverty. The World Health Organization reported that coronavirus deaths rose by 10% in Europe in the past week, making it the only world region where both COVID-19 cases and deaths are steadily increasing. It was the sixth consecutive week that the virus has risen across the continent. Social media statistics. For context, as of December 2021, total worldwide population is 7.9 billion. The internet has 4.54 billion users. There are 3.8 billion active social media users. On average, people have 7.6 social media accounts. On average, a person have 7.6 social media accounts. The average daily time spent on social media is 142 minutes a day, which is around in 2.5 hours. 91% of retail brands use two or more social media channels. 81% of all small and medium businesses use some kind of social platform. Social media users grew by 328 million between October 2018 and October 2019. That works out 10 new social media users per second. Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp handled 60 billion messages a day. When asked, 81% of teenagers felt social media has a positive impact on their life. Another study found that effect of social media on was trivial. Social media business statistics. In 2019, social network advertising revenues in the United States amounted to 36 billion US dollars. This figure has surpassed $50 billion in the end of 2021. 38% of organizations plan to spend more than 20% of their total advertising budget on social media channels in 2015, up from 13% in 2022. Only 20 Fortune 500 companies actually engage with their customers on Facebook, while 53% have a presence on Twitter. People aged 55 to 64 are more than twice as likely to engage with branded content than those of 28 or younger. 96% of the people that discuss brand online do not follow those brand owned profiles. 78% of people who complain to a brand via Twitter expect a response within an hour. Social video statistics. Facebook now sees 8 billion average daily video views from 550 million users. 500 million users. Snap users also see 8 billion average daily videos. US adults spend an average of 1 hour 16 minutes each day watching videos on digital devices. Also in the US, there were 175.4 million people watching daily videos content. 78% of people watch online videos every week. 55% watch every day. 51% of internet users watch vlogs. Content statistics. On WordPress alone, 70 million blog posts are published every month. The top three content marketing strategies are social media contents, 83%, blogs 80%, and email newsletters 77%. Technology. As of January 2021, there were 4.66 billion active internet users worldwide. 59.5% of the global population. Of this total, 92.6% accessed the internet via mobile devices. There are over 570 websites created every minute, adding up to a total of almost 1.8 billion websites since 1991. Google gathers over 3.5 billion searches per day and up to 1.2 trillion searches per year. Over 90% of the world's data were created only in the last couple of years. The worldwide spending on technology has reached $3.4 billion. This is based on every household and business spending money on new gadgets and technology, including phones, tablets, computers, and more. Because of COVID 19, 76% of businesses are planning on long term IT changes. 34% of the people map out their to do list on paper. Only 22% of the online tools. 18% use a calendar on their phones, 17% use project management systems, and at least 9% use other methods. The percentage of remote workers in the United States jumped from 31% to 62% in just 3 weeks because of COVID-19 pandemic. That has doubled the amount of the previous number. 6 out of 10 students have a digital textbook. Over 44 million students, or 96% of the public schools, have computers and access to the internet. Businesses will increase their cloud-based services and decrease their hardware spending in 2021. 44% of businesses are planning or already accelerated their digital transformation due to COVID-19. 30% of business plan to develop training campaigns for hiring and training remote employees. 32% of business plans to connect their employees using secure, standardized, and easy to use platforms. As of 2020, an estimated 3.6 billion people are using social media in entire world. It is projected that worldwide social media usage would increase to almost 4.41 billion by 2025. The total amount of data has reached 59 zettabytes in 2020. 63% of the population has missed a message or important information that went into another colleague's inbox when the person was away on vacation or absent. 4 out of 5 employees believe that better internal business communication helps performance. One of the biggest challenges of working with remote employees is the language barrier. 60% of the companies do not have any long-term plans and strategies for internet communication. An average internet user spends 6 hours and 42 minutes on the internet on daily basis. 48% of internet browsing is spent on mobile devices like a smartphone or tablet.